The breaking news out of the US, where Donald Trump's running mate has just been named as JD Vance. US Bureau Chief David Woodward joins us from inside the convention in Milwaukee to tell us who on earth this guy is.
Good morning, guys. Well, yes, Donald Trump has just made that announcement. JD Vance, as you just pointed out, will be his running mate. And I have to tell you, a massive roar has gone up throughout this crowd here in Milwaukee today when that announcement was made. Now, for people who don't know who JD Vance actually is, he's a 39-year-old junior senator from Ohio. He was, not that long ago, a very fierce critic of Donald Trump, but he's had a real turnaround and he's become a major backer of the former president. He's very close with Donald Trump's family as well, and I have to tell you, there is a real feeling of energy now with this ticket. We are joined by someone who is hoping that Donald Trump's pick is going to really push this red wave throughout southern Florida. You're running for Congress, Darlene. How did you feel about today's announcement?
I'm actually pretty excited. JD Vance has been unwavering in his support for President Trump. He's conservative. He follows the Republican platform, but more importantly, he's very competent. And he, Vice President has to be able to step in case of an emergency, and I feel very confident with JD Vance.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Darlene. And there's a lot of delegates like this today. They are just announcing those votes at the moment, state by state. They are going through them. You can hear the cheers and the jeers. It is a real carnival atmosphere down here today. It is that real lively part of this convention as we now go through that process of these states putting their support behind Donald Trump. Now, we don't know if we are going to actually hear from Donald Trump today. He has made that announcement on his online platform, Truth Social. Of course, he hasn't made any announcement or public comment since that assassination attempt just a couple of days ago, although he has spoken to a number of media outlets privately, and there is now a suggestion that when he does take to this stage in the coming days for that keynote address to formally accept the nomination from his party, he has now rewritten that acceptance speech, and it has been a tempered and toned down form of speech. He is now painting himself, casting himself as the great unifier after the shocking attack in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, speaking of that, David, it's fascinating to see inside these big US conventions, isn't it? And you're right there. What about safety after the obvious assassination attempt? What was it like? Did you have to check your guns at the foyer?
Not quite. No guns allowed in here, although Wisconsin, I believe, is an open carry state, so you are allowed to have those weapons. To get into this floor where we are right now, you have to go through multiple levels of security checks. In fact, it's taken months of Secret Service checks just to get to this point as well. And then when you step outside this convention centre, it is swarming with law enforcement. There is a ring of steel right around this area. You cannot get within cooee of the front doors of this convention centre right now without going through multiple checks. But of course, the events of just a couple of days ago have really ratcheted up that sense of security here.
Okay, David Woodward, we'll cross back to you there at the Republican convention soon.